Hi, my name is Brandon from Small Moving. We are a family-owned moving company that's been serving Florida families for the last 35 years. And today I want to make a video that outlines the top 10 things to consider when selecting a mover. Over the years, I've heard many horror stories from families that have selected a deceitful mover and they and their families have really suffered because of it. And I want to do what I can to keep that from happening to you and your family. So let's go ahead and start with number 10. Don't assume that the price you get over the phone is the price that you're going to get on moving day. Sometimes estimations do differ, but some companies really make a living off of giving you a really low price and then jacking it up when all your furniture is moved and you don't have a choice. So if a mover tells you your move is going to be $300, don't just assume, okay, that's what it's going to be. Ask them what that entails. When does the time start? When does the time end? And are there any fees, any hidden fees, stair charges, extra box charges? Movers are notorious for tacking on whatever they can. And keep an eye out for their service fee. A good company does have a service fee to keep their insurance cost in line and other operating costs, but some companies will have just miscellaneous fees that they don't tell you about until the very end. Number 9, verify what your move includes. About 3 weeks ago we had a customer call and they said that they booked another company that they just found online and they were coming to move their 3-bedroom home, and they showed up with just themselves. No moving truck, no equipment, and that's just the things you gotta look out for. There's all kinds of different variations of that story, but people will just book movers and not even ask questions. The price sounds great, but then they deal with that. You have your home ready to go, and you get guys that show up that don't even know what they're doing. Number 8, I touched on it earlier. Do ask when your time starts and stops. Last thing you want to do is pay for movers that start your time when they leave their warehouse. So you're paying for them to sit at McDonald's or paying for them to mess around on the way back. We start our time, and honest movers start their time when we arrive on your doorstep and when the last piece is in place and you are satisfied. Number 7, watch for types of payments and deposits. There are many fair companies that will take a deposit. It just helps protect them, but there are a lot of shady companies that will take a deposit and then they never show up and you can't get a hold of them, and then you have to get into a credit card kind of fraud situation. So just be careful. We don't accept deposits here. We work off an old-fashioned trust system. If you tell us you need us to move you, then we hope that you will keep your word and we'll keep our word, definitely, to come and move you. Number 6, don't just trust seals of approvals. It's honestly embarrassingly easy to get into a business bureau or any sort of list. You got to remember, these are companies that are trying to make money themselves. So do your research. I mean, don't just assume that because someone has a seal of approval that they are golden. Look at reviews, and the real reviews from customers are trustworthy, but just look into and research your company. Number 5, will your mover actually show up? No kidding, movers are notorious for just booking all the jobs they can, and then when it comes to move day, they take the highest paying job and tell all the other people that were booked that, oh, our truck broke down, sorry, figure it out. And imagine that. You and your family are just left stranded with your furniture and no one to help because a mover is just out seeking profit and nothing else. 4, communication is very important. If you're trying to call a mover, even if it's initially just to get a price and they don't pick up, that should be a red flag. If they don't pick up to get your call and get your money in the first place, you think they're going to pick up if you have any problems, if they break anything, or if they're running late. So really think and look into it if a mover doesn't pick up when you give them a call. Full-time workforce. A big way that companies try and save money and shave ends is to just hire some temporary workforce, maybe some labor pool guys, and then not cover them with workers' compensation. What that means, if someone gets hurt in your home or on your property while they're moving, you are now responsible for it if that company doesn't pay for workers' compensation. The good movers pay a lot of money to have that insurance and is well worth the price. So make sure you ask your next mover, do you have workers' compensation insurance, and where do you get your men? Last thing you want, I mean, your furniture is your valuables, it's your life. And the last thing you want is some movers that were mowing grass yesterday, or some temporary laborers, I'll say, that were mowing grass yesterday, to show up and be in charge of moving your finest antiques, your bedroom furniture, the things you worked all your life for. So make sure you have experienced full-time professionals moving your items. Number two, just select a mover that's licensed and insured. A good mover has liability insurance if anything goes wrong of any nature. They have cargo insurance to protect your goods during transit. If anything gets damaged during transit, that's what that covers. And workers' comp, like I was just talking about, I mean, that is huge. Your simple $500 move can end up costing you thousands if someone gets hurt and you chose a cheap company that doesn't pay for workers' compensation. Good movers have IM numbers. They are registered with the state, and the state will give them that IM number, and that's how you know that they are a registered, legitimate moving company. Number one is damages. So many movers, they just go by what is the bare minimum in Florida, which is 60 cents per pound damage coverage, which means your new television that they dropped because of whatever reason is now worth maybe 40 bucks because they don't have proper insurances, they don't take care of their customers. So at Small Moving, we have a extremely helpful position, which is if we damage anything, we will pay you fair market value, and that is absolutely as good as it gets. We want you to be happy, we want you to recommend us to friends and family, and we want you to have a stress-free moving experience. So that's it for today. This will be one of many video series, and if you are in need of a mover or know someone that is, we are Small Moving and we serve all of Florida. Thank you.